So anybody would like to check if their Omkar and breathing is right and would like to demonstrate? You can mute and put your video on and just go ahead. Yeah, no one is willing to give a demo. I think it is important if there are mistakes, but let me again recap that Omkar, the vibration has to travel. People are not willing to do it here, they can send their video to me. Second thing is breathing. Are you used to breathing from belly instead of chest? Yes, Milind. So breathing has to be from belly. If you are not being able to do that, then you need to practice consciously think that it has to fill from bottom to top. This is how it should not be. Then that becomes a shallow breathing. We need to use the full capacity and need to use your diaphragm for the breathing. Okay, this is important because we are going to do Agnisar, which unless you have practiced this very well, it will not come. And what bandha are we supposed to have while we are doing all this? It is more. Yeah. Now we are, because for shortage of time, we are not doing Sukshma Yoga every day. But I will add something in between. Okay, we did legs from the toe to waist and from fingers like this, then followed by the wrist. Okay, and then we went to shoulder. You can add this, like what when you do arti, rotations and counter club, because we had neglected this joint. We'll come to knees also, which will solve a lot of knee problems. So let's do a quick start. Assuming we have done all other Sukshma kriyas, let us do Naman Mudra. Naman Mudra, left and right side. Breathing in, stretch. Breathing out, go down one side. And then the other side. Keep breathing. Breathe out. If you have seen, many times temples are at a height. You climb few stairs or you climb a hill and then there is a temple. And first thing you do is after getting exhausted is Naman Mudra. You go down. Ideal way for doing Naman in temple also is exactly like Naman Mudra, where your hands are stretched out and your head is touching down. Typically, we do that not in Padmasana, we do it in Vajrasana. So let's begin. I hope everybody's posture is correct now. Think of Murubandhi. Breathe out completely. Complete. Fill in. Infinite space around you. Pitch dark. Lamp, a diya is lighted. At your heart's eye. Mind within the temple of your body. Seeing it from inside, you see the light. View it from outside. And you see infinite dark. And at the center, there is this lighted temple of your body shape. View it from within. It's all light around. And view it from outside, from a distance. So I did not say it this time specifically, but as soon as you go into this, you should be conditioned to hear Manas Onkar, the Gunjan, coming out from the space around you. When the stars are getting created, when the earth was getting created, this sound of creation, we are assigning it to Onkar. Breathe out. You see, every time there is a slight change, something new I'm introducing in the process, and there is a design behind it. I keep calling the body shape as temple. I could have called it as hall also. But there is, so psychology, conditioning, response plays a great role in being able to concentrate and think correctly. So we will proceed with Kapalbhati. Ideally, right first, left next, but we'll go with both nostrils. We'll attempt 108. Those who can't can do lesser. And of course, if both nostrils are not clear, the nostril that is choked could lift the and create a space for breathing. Breathe out. These are half breaths, that kind of thing. Your in is natural, out is with a bit of force, like a lohar ka bhata. Okay, so breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe very slowly, calm. See the peace, relaxation traveling through all your body parts from top to bottom. We'll do Anulom Vilom only three because time is limited. We need to introduce a couple of things. So close your right from left. Your eyes, your two fingers are in front of your center of your, in between your eyebrows, the pituitary gland area. Have doubts, you can watch my hands. Completely out. Last breathe out. Fill in. Actually, while filling in, you could imagine that you are blocked completely in ice cube. Breathe out slowly. Ice melting around you. We will do Madhya Ujjayi, chest one. It is winter, many people are likely to get some problems related to cough. People who have cough problem, have issues related to cold, can increase their Ujjayi. People who have heat problems do not increase beyond 3 or 6. If you're doing 2 of them, then 6. And people can do all 3 if they need. Breathe out with friction. About Kapalbhati, if any of you have a high or low blood pressure issues, then you should do a 5 minutes video call with me, where I will check if your Kapalbhati is altered to suit your blood pressure. Like low blood pressure can do really vigorous, and high blood pressure should do a slightly relaxed. Still, the outgoing is more forceful and incoming is natural. But there is some alteration that you are doing. And this will help you correct your blood pressure to some extent. So after that, we do Shikari. Completely breathe out. Feel in. Slow breathe out. Getting free and completely relaxed. After Shitali and Shitali, we do Agnisar. Now, if you observed my Kapalbhati, it was with belly, but these are half breaths. For um, for doing Agnisar, you need to completely breathe out. Put your hands on your knees to create a pressure. So I'll just show you. You suck in your stomach as much as possible to your nearly to your spine. You can imagine, and then without breathing in, with your breath outside, you'll have to push it and not like relax it. So anyway, when you take stomach in and then leave it, it will get to a relaxed position. Okay, to just fall back. It's not fall back. You using your muscles, you are throwing it out. So you know, if I have say 5 to 10 kg on my stomach and I'm doing this lying down, when I do this, the thing gets thrown up a few inches. So you imagine that kind of force. Okay, so you'll attempt. This may not come right within a day. May take 5, 10, 15 days, month, but you'll have to start that. This is one of the best exercises for naturally reducing fat, because it's the solar plexus area which you are energizing, and that creates a lot of heat. So breathe out completely. You can bend down so that your breathing out is complete. Pressure on your knees. This will be tiring. You'll be able to do 5, 10, 15. You should ideally be taking, I do it for 54. That's the right number, but not stretch. It will not be possible initially, because without breath and with so much force you are throwing out your solar plexus, your navel area, will be a lot to do. You will sweat actually. This will be equivalent to doing some running. And in no way I'm saying that, okay, if you do this, you need to be sitting all the day at home. Some of the important things we missed out was, like, there are for your health. Asan, exercise, your behavior, your diet is important. But one important aspect is sunlight. I don't think vitamin D tablets is a substitute for sunlight. You need to get natural sunlight also. So in yoga, they call it normal snan, 3 types of snan, where you take a bath. Gharshan snan, that you need to have some friction. Like after bath, you rub your body with towel. And Surya snan, they call it. The early morning rays of sun. If it is impossible, you can use evening rays also. But the morning ones are always better. So this was Agnisar. You need to practice it. Any difficulties, you can ask me questions on group or privately, or you can also call me. Now, Vayusar is something which has the effect of taking a soda without the side effects of it. So what you are doing is, you are going to turn your lips into a beak kind of thing, and you are breathing in from there. But near the end, what you do is, you don't breathe in, but you actually drink air. You gulp, and then see, I got the burp immediately because it has that soda effect. So you breathe in from your mouth, and in the end, you just gulp the air. And then after that, you can do either tap or do this, and then you'll be able to free up some blocked gas. So now we'll move to Brahmani. Brahmani, everybody knows. Ears closed, completely closed, so that you are cut off from external noise. Fingers, 2 fingers above on your forehead, one of them on your eyebrow. Neck bent downwards. I'm not asking you to do but something similar to that. Getting close. Breathe out. And a bit of Ujjayi kind of breathe in. And now Brahmari. Breathe in. While doing Brahmari now, you are going to concentrate, have your full focus on your heart. Breathe in. You feel the vibration at your heart's place. After some practice, we will start feeling happy. Your heart will start feeling happy while doing this, and will increase from 3 to 5 to 7 to 9. So please let me know if you could feel the vibration in your heart's position. Some feedback will be good. Yeah, any feedback? If you are being able to do it or not, then I can accordingly explain.
No, not really.
Okay. So if you are doing, there's much lesser chance. If you make it deeper. When I mean deeper, it's a lower tone, which is lower frequency. With lower frequency, there will be better amplitude. The vibration feeling will be better. And mentally, you think of your heart. It will help, and it will come automatically. So let's correct posture. And let me know sometime how many of you are being able to retain your posture, the erect spine, without doing this exercise. Eyes closed. Breathe out. Oh. Shant. The dharana of Diya temple, yours, and Omkara. You will be doing yourself. Breathe out. Shan. You know where you are. Middle of a large river. Width of the river on both sides, at least half a kilometer each side of you. But it's dark. Water, your nose, your eyes are above water. You feel the flow of water. Very slow. Unbelievable. Facing east, the water is moving towards east. Sun is about to rise. But the rays are already seen. You see the colors in sky, and the linings of the cloud. You see the river bed narrowing as it goes towards horizon. You need to see the whole three-dimensional picture. It's a very broad river, but as you see further, of course, you will see that getting narrow. And this sun rays, and just about rising sun, you see reflection in the river. This all narrowing broad river. As the light flows in, you see that the river on both sides is covered with green, the dense forest, lush green. Sun is rising. You can see in this whole broad but narrowing river that flows straight towards horizon. You see the reflection. Something drops in the river and circular ripples. The waves from a center of point going towards the edge of the river. This is happening in front of you, so you are reflection of sun also gets distorted with this. Yes. About your head. We are anyway doing this exercise with closed eyes, but in that imaginary, the dharana of you being a river, there you are to closed eyes also. You see a bit of light, a reddish golden light. Calm. Shalom. Yeah. For a moment, you just forgot that you were inside underwater. There was sun rising, and you see the river. Relax. So, we were to add some asana. I think we are running late, but let me take a simple standing asana. I think everybody knows about Tadasana. Tad is like a coconut tree kind of thing, where you are standing straight and stretching. Okay, but I will tell you about another asana which is for stability, not just physical but mental stability as well. I don't know if it can in the video, but sorry, need to have better camera. So you need to stand straight and take your leg. This has to be parallel to your hands like this and balance. Okay, now this balance is easier. It becomes more difficult when you fold your hands. Okay, and practice stability. This is very good for your nerves also. Now, what is the next level? After doing this too will be easy for most people. People who are fit, this should be very easy. But now, what is the next level is you need to close your eyes. And you should have something near you, some wall, because you will tend to fall. We so much depend upon our vision for our balance. Once you close your eyes, you're doing nothing different. You're exactly standing as you were. And a quick thing for people who want to handle stress is a stretch of spine helps in the relieving stress. So asana called makarasana, where you lie on your belly, your hands and legs are stretched, you stretch your spine with your just will, and with if you need, you can pull something, but without that also you can stretch your spine. And that is something which is good for relaxing your stresses. Okay, now let's get to the discussion. We were talking about So have you thought of any entity, any object which you have seen appearing out of nowhere or getting destroyed into nothing? We know, we have read in physics that mass is conserved. We have seen in chemistry the equations that same number of atoms, they get combined, they change their behavior, but the number of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, the equation is always there. One may say that no, but there in atomic energy, the mass is getting lost and energy is getting created. This also is a kind of same kind of matter. It's a conversion. I can show you in some ancient texts where they treat energy and mass as same type of matter. So energy is conserved, mass is conserved. Yeah, what gets created out of nothing, I would say, is sometimes confusion. Okay, but not a real object. Confusion and negative thinking and negative thoughts, these are something which we create them, and that becomes into a seed, becomes into a large tree. But in the real sense, I have not been able to think of anything that gets created or that gets destroyed into nothing. We took example of body. When after death body is burnt, there is a lot that people do, lot of kriyas after death on the body, do this, do that for your own betterment and rituals and all that. You can challenge me after thinking and next week, but this body once destroyed, when life is not there, it does not matter what you do with the body, whether you bury it, burn it, or throw it in a valley. Okay, I'm purposely making a very strong statement so that people think and ask questions and object to it, and then we'll go logically into it. So, if body, every cell, every single atom is conserved, what happens to thing that was thinking of me as I, which was knowing things, which was feeling joy, sorrow, pain, happiness, which had a quest to do something better, which strive to do better every day, strive for happiness. What happens to that? Just gets lost into nothing. How is it possible? So, logically, looking at every other matter or object in the universe, logically we would conclude that yes, it also has to become into something. It has to go into. So there are so many possibilities. We are not going to assume anything. Maybe it goes into a, like carbon and oxygen, they combine together. Maybe this I and some other I, they may get merged. They may get merged into hundreds of other life forms, let's say, or it may just transit into another mobile, like a SIM being transferred from one mobile to another. We are not going to assume anything. We will build this, but you need to understand that everything, every single object that we see, every single type of matter that we see in the universe is conserved. Mass is conserved, energy is conserved. Then, ideally, this me also should be conserved. What happens to it? That's something for us to think. Now, I had given in detail about meditation because there were some objections saying that, hey, I joined your group for yoga. What is this spiritually doing? And by the way, the person who said this wanted yoga and meditation. How can you do meditation without meditation of what? So, if you have read that, I'll give you a recap of what I had written. That, and I have told this in one of the previous sessions also. So, dhyan is knowing something with full concentration. So, I am doing a dhyan on my teaching right now. If you are looking at rising sun, you are doing dhyan on that rising sun. you are doing a kratak, which will take some time, that there is a lamp in front of me at exactly my eyes height, 5 feet away from me, and I'm looking at it. I'm doing dhyan of that diya. If I'm concentratedly thinking about somebody who did injustice to me, I'm hitting him, how do I take revenge? I'm doing artha dhyan, which is agitated. There is a raudra dhyan with anger. So all these, so not every kind of dhyan is going to be beneficial. There are hundreds of ways of meditation, because if something becomes popular and there is business associated, there will be so many things that will mushroom. Just find out how many fake cancer treatment centers are there across the world, because it does not have a solution, and people are desperate. So things will mushroom. So I was told about a meditation where I have to listen to a sound. So let's say some vehicle and that is going far off, and I keep listening till the sound completely disappears. What are you doing is you are doing some concentration. You are diverting your mind, definitely. But is this a solution? As just like when you take a painkiller, you are diverting your pain sensors and you are numbing them, and you do not feel that. So the trouble, the agitation that you had in your mind, while you are concentrating on that sound or concentrating on light, or in some place they will tell you that concentrate in your atma, which is in between. It is not, but I'm just telling you that some system says that it is at the center of your two eyebrows and you need to concentrate there. There are systems which will tell you that God is feeling energy in you and it is coming from outside. So many things. But unless you do all this and a tiger comes, there are people who die of heart attack just by fear. And there are people who would try to save themselves, and if not, then they would go calmly. What would change this? Any of the meditations will take away your fear? Would these people not break down when something wrong happens? So this meditation is like a temporary pill. For a meditation to be true meditation, as I said, you need to have an object of which that object needs to be permanent, first of all, because if you are doing dhyan on your child's welfare and the welfare does not happen, I mean, he doesn't do well in his exams, then it is going to give you trouble. You need to do a dhyan of, if you do it on your bank account, the day the bank account is hit, you are going to suffer. So this dhyan has to be of an object that is permanent, one. And second thing is, of which the basic properties are, one of the basic properties is happiness. And you do that dhyan. So it's simple that you are focusing on an object uh, that is having happiness as its property, and then it does not matter whether you are in Padmasana or whether you are lying down or whether you are sitting on a tree or anywhere, or for that matter, even if you are in a toilet. So yes, ideally you do these things in temples, because there is a conditioned response of that, the sound of bell, the smell of agarbatti, the diya. From childhood, we have been associating that with calmness, pious thoughts, and that helps. But when you are tasting a chocolate, whether you are in temple, bathroom, or anywhere, the taste is going to be that be sweet. Similarly, when you are experiencing that object which has happiness as its basic, you will always get that happiness. So meditation is, so I explained that there are two things in when you know something. So when I'm knowing this laptop which is in front of me, there is the object of knowledge, the laptop, and what is seen on the laptop, and there is the entity that is knowing it, that is me. Then there is Then I said that, like, you move your attention to something else. Then yes, me is there, and that something else is there. There is a very small fraction of second where there is just feeling of me. There is a gap. It can't be that 100% continuity is there. That till this moment I was doing this, and then the next moment I'm doing something else. So there is, I call it a potential. That moment is a potential for knowing the next thing. This potential again is not meditation, which is defined by some systems where thoughtlessness. Thoughtlessness is basically you are not knowing anything. Okay, so thoughtlessness, and after thoughtlessness, are you free from fear? I will be free from fear, I will be free from anxiety only when I know that the tree I was watering is plastic tree and it is futile to water that. So this correct knowledge is absolutely essential. And so the spirituality, basic discussions, who am I, you cannot escape that, and you cannot be really happy without knowing these things. And if you want to do meditation for not being happy, I mean, that is not the main goal of your life, that you want to be happier, then this exercise is not of use to you. So I believe this is clear. If it is not, people should ask questions. So let me finish this. So basically, for us, the final meditation, the Samadhi, is that the knower is me. What can be known? Any object, anything in this whole universe can be known. I mean, what is happening on a star or of maybe my today's capacity, it cannot be known, but it is all that is knowable. So what is so my laptop was my object of knowledge earlier. Now I am making myself subject of my knowledge. Okay, can you make it just like that, myself? And no, you need to understand what are the properties of me, what is the nature. First, you need to completely understand logically and convince logically that what is the property of you. And once you know that, and then when you are doing this exercise, when you are doing dhyan, and you have all other connects removed, and you are fully convinced logically that what is your correct nature, then there is a good chance that sometime you will strike a chord, you will see the light for the first time. And light is not actual light. I mean, this is just giving example. So at that time, as I said earlier, pure joy and looking within and feeling happy and all that, these are just words. In our discussion initially, when in chat, if you must have observed that people were giving some good thoughts that yeah, want to internalize and feel happiness. Unless you internalize, somebody was saying that there is nothing like happiness. Then he said that unless you internalize, you can find happiness inside. These are just words. If you have never ever tasted sugar or anything sweet, I tell you sugar is sweet. What will you tell in your exam? You'll say sugar is sweet. But do you know what sweet is? You actually have to test it yourself. Now I give you something and I say that this is sugar and it is sweet. It has some different taste. But it's a test you already know. You say, no, this is called sour. This is called spicy. This is salty. Okay. So, first of all, I know that it is not same as salty, spicy, sour. So, I need to know what it is not. I need to know that it should feel good. You take something and it burns your tongue, and I'm telling you this is sweet. You say, no, but I have read it and I have understood that it should give you a nice feeling. It should give you a feeling of satisfaction. So this is how, when you are going to start discovering and you know this logically, and then you actually experience, that is the time you will actually get happiness. And that is the thing where knower, known, and the knowledge, all three become to yourself. That is what is meditation. That is what is Samadhi. And once this understanding is there, your natural stresses, anxieties, your grudges of past, your thoughts of revenge, your memories of earlier pain which you are carrying, I mean, the pain is gone. Somebody has insulted and gone ahead with it. He may be living happily or he may be dead also, but you are still remembering that I was insulted in so and so manner, and that bitterness you are carrying. All these things will go away only after you understand the reality. You are able to make difference between snake and a rope, or you are being able to make a difference between a real tree and a paper tree. Is this clear, or we need some more explanation?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, we will be challenging many popular thoughts. I'm not doing it drastically because some people will just leave without thinking or without uh, challenging or debating. There has to be open thinking. I wanted to make another important point, okay, which will be discussed later, but I'm just introducing another, uh, which strong statement I made today. Yeah, that what rituals you do after death. Once the chemical part, I mean, like if my mobile is destroyed, then it has to be kept face down, and then there has to be uh, it has to be covered with its own mobile cover, and it has to be facing east, and then I use new mobile. I don't believe that. If this is something like the me object, and then there is that hardware, they are there, and if they are dissociated, what happens to hardware has no impact on me object. People say that okay, atma ko shanti hogi, ritual, you do ritual and then the soul will get a good passage. So what the soul has done all its life, if it has been a criminal, it has been murderer, it has been uh, abducting women and selling them in some other country, and in the end the rituals all are done fine, then the soul gets good passage. And a soul which has been doing all nice things all its life, and then that dead body is left for dogs to eat, and that soul will not get good passage. How is it possible? It is completely contrary to karma theory. We are not yet convinced of karma theory. We'll come to that at later stage. But this is something you need to give a thought. And in advance, I'm going to tell you that there are many popular beliefs that I'm going to challenge in this course. If people have problems, we can discuss them. So another big point I'm going to make is that bhakti is sold very heavily. Okay, there will be a full session on bhakti actually. Bhakti is sold very heavily. I'm going to make another bold statement. Bhakti is used to blind you and look away from logic. Have full faith. Guru says jump in river, you jump in well, you jump in well. This is what has been sold so strongly. And this will cause you to not see anything. You will see people having very strong opinions and just not budging, and you will wonder that I'm giving a perfect logic why this person can't see it. Because he has accepted those lines. Okay, this I would want people to challenge, because I would think that 99% or more than that believe in bhakti as one of the strongest way of spirituality. So, as I said, we are going to have a full session on bhakti and my views on bhakti. In short, I'll tell you that I read things like, I mean, there was an argument that if you get a guru, you need to follow him and have full bhakti and just do everything that he's told. Now, yeah, if he is good guru, I mean, like if he is a complete crook, then you will go in wrong direction. Yeah, but you have to select the right guru. How do you select right guru? By bhakti? Just not possible. Otherwise, every single path, you will have so many religions which will tell you that believe in this, believe in this, believe in this, and go ahead. If you don't challenge, then you are born with belief and you are going to go with that belief. And whether you get progress in spirituality or not, you die with the belief. If the belief is wrong, your life is spoiled. You are carrying a wrong child, like in that example. So to find a right guru, what do you do? How do you know who is the right guru? Based on his behavior and what he is telling. What he is telling, does it seem logical? Does it seem correct? Like where I say that, okay, if ice cream was giving you happiness, after 3 kg ice cream eating, you feel like vomiting, you do not have happiness. So happiness was not its property. I'm giving you a logical base to that. But if I tell you, like what Osho said, that do anything, don't think of morals, and just keep enjoying your life, then you would question that, okay, if that is there, then why, Mr. Osho, did you require special car and special seats when you had neck pain? And in one of the interviews, he says that this particular Rolls Royce is giving me minimum pain, otherwise I'm in extreme pain. A guru talking about these things, about pain and not being able to be happy irrespective of what is happening, this would not happen. This is what I would challenge. This is where reason and logic is coming. But people who would believe blindly that, okay, I want to go with that particular thought, they would just flow, and if he is right, they are lucky. If he is not right, then they are gone. So while selecting guru, you will anyway be using logic and reason. So as I always say, that logic may not be able to construct full truth. For real truth, you may need to actually experience it. But logic can definitely destroy fallacy. And in the darkness that I am born in, if I need to find light and I am told 10 different theories, actually there are thousands, but suppose I am told 10 different theories that you take path in this way, you take path in this way, I go and I do not find light, then I try another. How am I going to take all thousands of paths in my life? The life will get over and I will never find my light. So in darkness, if I want to find light, when some paths are suggested, I would just remove the illogical ones, which look outright nonsense, which have paradoxes and self-disproving logic in them. You will remove them, and based on your logical ability, you may get with 1, 2, 3, whatever, and then trying those couple of paths is not going to be so difficult. Okay, so from my side, I am done. Would be happy to have questions.
There is some saying that you do unconditional surrender. That is also one way.
Yeah, correct. We are going to discuss this in detail, but unconditional surrender, you have been asked and you do it, and the one who is asking to you is jihadi. You think it is right? But those people are doing bhakti marg. People who are jihadis are actually surrendering, unconditional surrender. They are giving their life. They are believing that this is going to take them to Jannat. I'm not criticizing a particular religion. That religion may not be saying it, but people who are telling them to do unconditional surrender. Once I tell you to do unconditional surrender, you see every nonsense in a positive way. So if I do something, I do a crime, you see it as a fantastic strategy, how he has done it. You will see this in political scenario that people are so polarized in X way or opposite of X way. This platform will never discuss politics, but just I'm telling you that in any scenario, if you remove bhakti, you can see things logically. And now the faith, when should you have complete faith? I will give you an example. Suppose you are going to a school and there are 4 boys who are around and you lost your watch. You know that this guy is very well to do, and for him this watch, it's a cheap watch, he would not be taking it. That guy, but he had gone to bathroom when we were talking. This guy, I know that he comes from a very good family, he would not be stealing. So must be the 4th guy. Can you go and catch him by neck and say that, okay, give me my watch? You still don't know. But you were passing from the window and you actually saw that person picking up your watch. Then you are 100% confident you are going to just twist his arm and say that give me my watch, otherwise you have problems. What changed from first thing? First thing was just some thoughts, some beliefs. Some of them were beliefs. Like this guy is good, this guy is rich, you would not want to steal. Rich guys also may want to steal, right? But these were beliefs. And some was logic, a bit of logic. Second thing was pratyaksha knowledge, the actual knowledge. So my faith and my belief is going to be complete only when I experience myself in the pratyaksha manner and I actually get that happiness. That is where my fears and my other things will go down. So when you know something for sure, people are bhakts of politicians, of gurus. There was a guru in whose ashram I went. This guru is in jail. I stayed in that ashram for a day. And I went there because he wanted me to manage his illegal property with my property management software. So, but as soon as we would step out, he would want to show me that what he has built here and what he has built there. He was showing me his assets. As soon as he's seen, all people around, they would just come like flies and go on their knees and touch his feet. Like, okay, we are being able to, they would even touch my feet because this guy is touching me. Okay, so crazy. This is bhakti. Then they don't see that why women are there with him always, why different women are there, why are they always good looking women, why is he not with older women? Okay, these questions, they will stop once you have that blinds of complete surrender. I would be happy to tell you completely surrender, and then I will build a big empire for myself.
Parag, do you think it is possible in one life to experience everything and then start believing in it? Is it possible?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It took me maybe 3-4 years of non-stop search period where I passed out from education and then I did not take up any job till I found answers. Things should be easier for people who have someone who has done it, and some of the paths that I have taken and then found that there were fallacies and gurus I have made found that they were cheats. If you are fortunate enough to get someone to tell you something, and I want you to be open. I want you to challenge. I am not saying that because I have done that, this is the truth and you need to believe it. Surrender is the biggest mistake. You understood the example of jihad, right? They are doing what they are doing is exact same bhakti marg as ISKCON would be doing, or as any other thing which is following. And do not question. You have to question. Possibly we'll dedicate next section to logic and how to think logically and find out right from wrong. Logic is a very important part of spirituality. If you cannot see logically, you see simple, no? A person who is not educated and the simple bhola bhala insan, and then he can be easily cheated by anybody. Same thing is being applied to this. And the easiest, most gullible ones are those who have suffered sometime, who have been sad, whose heart has been bruised. Okay, so most of us have some pain or other, and then the first time I'm telling you, okay, look at that light moving away, slow, calm. You feel nice, and this nice feeling, this painkiller, you take it as the final experience. Once you decide it is final experience, it is over. So, is strong logic required to be able to realize self? Yeah, sounds sad that why a dumb person should not be able to realize it, but it is very difficult for that, because you need to be able to do differentiation between right and wrong. That reason, without that, you will not be able to see the truth so easily. For people who cannot actually think logically, for them, Bhakti Marg is really useful because it will give them some peace. So people who are in pain and cannot afford, let's say, a medicine which is giving a permanent solution. It costs, let's say, $10 million. They can at least live a better life by taking painkiller. That is fine. I am not saying it has no role. I have seen people in different religions where people are associating them with violence and whatever, believing in their own religion and being so nice and peaceful because they are using it positively. But can they question, like, I'll take an example of mosquito. Can mosquito think that drinking blood, is it good or not? No, it is just programmed to do that and end its life that way. A human being can think that, okay, I have been born in a family where I have been having non-vegetarian, but is it worth killing that animal? This is a thought. Okay, we are not going to into vegetarianism or non-vegetarianism. We will have a session on that also, and a very logical session. But right now I'm saying that humans have this ability to think. If you leave that thinking aside, and if you are told that eating cow is great, and somebody is told it, no, cow is God, and you are just sticking to that, then you are leaving reason aside. So in this lifetime, definitely it is possible. In this lifetime, can you reach the highest position possible? I do not want to use words because we have not introduced them yet. Highest thing in spirituality may not be, but you can reserve your seat for that for sure. If you die without realizing self, then you would not know whether you will get that chance again or not. We have not gone in reverse, so I do not want to get into that. Once we have discussed that and you are convinced about it, then I will discuss and I will use rebirth as a reference. Yeah, but for now, answer to your question is yes, you can realize the self. And when you say in one lifetime, how do you know this? Maybe the last lifetime where you have started. So when we don't know, we need to try. Yeah. Anything? Anyone? Questions can be absolutely rude. I mean, language should not be rude, but I mean like opposing and challenging.
Parag, this is Milind.
Yeah, Milind.
Do you believe we have a free will?
Free will versus fate. It's a massive subject. It requires quantum mechanics. And I will tell you about a thing called as simultaneous truths. It's a very deep subject. Yes, there is free will from one reference point. And there is no free will from another reference point. This is the short answer. It requires multiple sessions for that. It is one of the most advanced subjects. It is one of the most advanced subjects which many of the great gurus have also missed out. Okay, I can tell you that. If I had a system in mind for spirituality, I would introduce physics courses along with spirituality courses.
So you either have free will or you don't have free will. You can't say like
No. I will tell you about simultaneous truths. We'll come to that. Okay, now you have asked. I was planning to take this example some other time, but let's say there is a pot and a clay pot and it has a small hole, and you calculate that okay, this is going to drain in 10 minutes. Then what you do is use your free will, throw a stone, break it, and do it in 5 minutes. And you say, I have changed it. And if somebody already knew that you were going to do this, from that reference of point, this was to happen. You were going to break the pot in 5 minutes and it was going to get drained. I do not, this is a very, very deep subject. I'm not running away from this subject. People who have taken my bit of my course would know that I have spent days and days on this subject. There was a lecture in ISAR, I will share that, by one scientist who kind of proved to the students there that there is no free will. And I will find out how that can be disproved. And there are fallacies and there are some limitations in that. So when you start, the starting point, the objects, you start building and you say that, okay, I cannot build a tower with this because these things are slippery. Because you have missed one single object which can bind them. So if an object is missed out in the beginning, you will not be able to get the full construct. So
No.
it comes with free will.
I mean, does this universe run with set of rules?
Yes, absolutely.
If it runs with set of rules, then things are going to happen in certain way.
Yeah, exactly,
And if
exactly
that
the kind
is-
of point that that scientist was making. Okay, some American scientist. Yeah, yeah, but this argument would be so confusing. I have kept this. I start that subject with this discussion. I'll tell you the example and we'll stop there because otherwise we'll go into full-fledged free will discussion. A man thinks that what is going to happen will happen and jumps from 10th floor and dies. So this is a question I ask people. Okay, did he die because he jumped, or did he think of jumping because he was to die? Okay, this is the question I start with, and then start discussion and then thinking, and then we go into the thought of free will against. In our group, I had once shared a model 4-dimensional static universe. Have you seen that, Milind? In the IIT group, I had once shared a model where universe is a 4-dimensional object and static. There is no change. Time being the 4th dimension.
Mhm.
In that model, everything is fixed. So yeah, so this will be confusing for people who have not gone through all that. So yeah. Or if the urge is too much, we can discuss separately.
No, I can. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, Parag, I have to leave.
Yeah, we are closing. Yeah. So you can leave, but if people have some question on what we discussed today.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but we have to rush.
Yeah, no, that is okay. I mean, we are done actually. This is only question answer. So you can move, but just asking people if they have questions, otherwise we'll close.
No, it was very nice. Let us think now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you so much.
Yeah, so we'll do the final Omkar and stop. Om.